Hello to my channel Chinese Star. Today we will bring you the following hot and exciting news.
A copy of Blood Romance? Unfortunately, Xiao Zhan is really not as good as Liu Ye. The period drama The Sea in My Dream has already started airing, starring the top star Xiao Zhan and the leading actress Li Qin. With the help of traffic, the ratings of the first broadcast are quite good. Many viewers who have watched it said, it feels like Blood Romance. Hey, I'm so excited now. I think back then, I stayed in front of the TV and was obsessed with Blood Romance. Liu Ye's mischievousness and Sun Li's beauty are unforgettable. But after watching 2 episodes of The Sea, I couldn't help wondering, isn't this really based on Blood Romance? The first 2 episodes of The Sea tell the story of the male protagonist Xiao Zhan, who is a child of a military compound. In order to help his good brother Ye Guahua chase the goddess He Hongling, he drew a portrait and posted it at the entrance of the Shichahai ice rink. Later, He Hongling's protector, the leader of the gangsters in Beijing, learned about the portrait and came to trouble Ye Guahua. In order to support his brothers, Xiao Zhan said that he was Ye Guahua and provoked He Hongling in front of the gangsters. At this time, Xiao Zhan had a good impression of He Hongling. In fact, he recognized the wrong person. The gangster got angry and then agreed to fight with Xiao Zhan and his group, saying that they would meet at the Meridian Gate at midnight 3 days later. Xiao Zhan and his brothers looked for people everywhere for the group fight. In the end, both sides went to the agreed place, but the fight did not happen because there was a middleman to mediate, so the 2 sides shook hands and made peace. Let's take a look at the situation at the beginning of Blood Romance. The male protagonist Zhang Yuman, a child of a military compound, and his group were playing on the street, and they happened to meet the female protagonist Zhou Xiaobei and her best friend Luo Yun walking on the road. Zhang Yuman had a crush on Zhou Xiaobei, so he ran over to talk to her carelessly, talking nonsense, but Zhou Xiaobei thought he was a hooligan. Then, the second male lead Zhang Haiyang, who had always liked Zhou Xiaobei, showed up. He saw his goddess being teased, and he had a fight with Zhang Yuman without saying anything. In this way, the 2 sides broke up because of a woman and even made an appointment to fight. Zhang Yuman found a man who was good at fighting, and when the 2 sides made an appointment to meet and fight, the atmosphere was so tense. At this time, a middleman came out to mediate, and then the 2 sides stopped fighting and called each other brothers. Aren't the 2 plots very similar? But these contents were filmed in 2 episodes in that sea, but Blood Romance only took half an episode to tell the story. Judging from the plot introduction, it is all about a group of children from the compound, who have ups and downs in the tide of the times and finally choose to go into business. In addition, the character settings in this drama always make people feel inexplicably familiar. For example, Xiao Zhan and Zhang Yuman are both well-known stubborn people in the Beijing area. Both of their fathers were investigated. They really wanted to join the army, but because of their father's situations, it was even more difficult for them to join the army as children of the compound. In the end, both of them started businesses. The settings of the heroines are quite similar. In Blood Romance, the father of the heroine Zhou Xiaobei is the deputy commander, and the father of the heroine Tong Xiaomai in that sea is also the commander. Let's take a look at the screenwriters of these 2 dramas. The screenwriter of Blood Romance is Du Liang, and his representative works include Bright Sword. Just based on these 2 dramas, we can know the ability of the screenwriter. The screenwriter of The Sea in My Dream is Su Bing, whose representative works include Red and Little Soldier Zhanga. He is an excellent screenwriter with quite good results. It is understood that The Sea in My Dream is a remake of the novel Where the Dream Begins, and Blood Romance has the original novel of the same name. So why are the plots of these 2 dramas so similar? I'm afraid only the screenwriters know. The plot and character settings are similar, but different actors will have completely different effects. Liu Ye played Zhang Yuman, who was 26 years old at the time. He was on camera without makeup and had a lot of acne on his face, but this rough feeling made the character look more real. How did Liu Ye interpret the character? Not only did he have long paragraphs of witty lines, but he didn't know how to stand or sit. You have to know that the children of the compound at that time just messed around all day and were completely unscrupulous. The elder said that when he stood, one shoulder was higher than the other, and he said wittily, I have had one leg long and one short since I was a child, and I can't stand straight at all. When flirting with beautiful women, Zhang Yuman's eyes were ambiguous, and he pretended to be serious. When making an appointment for a fight, his eyes made people feel majestic and particularly fierce even if he didn't get angry. Facing his father's teachings, he became a good boy. Zhang Yuman is one of Liu Ye's most successful roles. and his acting skills can be called superb. In fact, it is unfair to compare Xiao Zhan and Liu Ye. Liu Ye is a professional actor, and he is very talented among professional actors. He became an actor as soon as he debuted. To be honest, Xiao Zhan is very hardworking, but he really has no talent at acting. Most actors in the entertainment industry have no talent, and those who are talented have already become actors and actresses. Xiao Zhan's Xiao Chunsheng belongs to the type of stubborn. Xiao Zhan's Xiao Chunsheng is very unruly. He is either a chatterbox or keeps rolling his eyes and making faces. The traces of acting are particularly heavy. Every expression of Xiao Zhan seems to say, I am a chatterbox, I am angry, I am teasing, I am thinking. It can be felt that he really wants to play Xiao Chunsheng well, but he just tries too hard. However, as far as Xiao Zhan's acting skills in the drama that see are concerned, it is not bad, because the level of the actors in this drama is not much different, and many people are not as good as Xiao Zhan. For example, Wu Gang's son Yu Yang plays Xiao Chunsheng's brother in this drama. Fortunately, he doesn't have many scenes at the moment. His terrible performance in Kuang biography is really scary. The female lead Li Qin's acting skills have always been the same old, and there has been no improvement in 10 years. It is even worse than when she played in Dream of Red Mansions and Princess Agents. She always speaks lines like reading a text. Li Qin has been filming almost all the time in recent years. I beg her to calm down and spend more time practicing her lines. The other actors are all quite young, and there is not much difference between them. The drama that see feels like it was made for young fans. The older audiences said, it's too unreal and they can't get into it at all. The drama that see has indeed sparked many discussions among viewers, especially in terms of detail processing and overall texture. Although the actors' acting skills are highly recognized, some details in the drama may affect the audience's immersion. For example, although the costumes in the drama are military green and khaki, they look very new and lack traces of being worn. This lack of realism and detail processing may make the audience feel that it is not natural and real enough. In a drama with a historical background or a specific period as the theme, the detail processing of costumes and props is crucial. This is not only to restore the style of the time, but also to enable the audience to better integrate into the plot and feel the real life of the characters in the play. If the costumes and props are too new and clean, it is easy for the audience to feel disconnected, thinking that these are just decorations on the stage, not part of the real life of the characters. In order to improve the realism and immersion of the work, the crew needs to pay more attention to these details during the production process. For example, appropriate aging treatment can be used to make the costumes and props look more real and in line with the living environment and time background of the characters in the play. In addition, the processing of details also includes scene layout, character makeup and other aspects, which can help improve the overall texture and viewing experience. Although that C has excellent acting skills, there is still room for improvement in detail processing. I hope that future works can pay more attention to these aspects, making the overall look more real and moving, so that the audience can better integrate into the story. You know, in the 1970s, there were not many cement roads, and most of them were dirt roads. At that time, the city was not as prosperous as it is now. The streets were often dusty and the air was filled with the smell of dust. Especially on rainy days, the dirt roads became muddy. People walked on the road and carefully avoided the mud, but it was inevitable that their shoes and trouser legs were covered with mud. The children of the compound had nothing to do all day long, and most of the time they wandered around the compound. They did not have rich extracurricular activities and entertainment facilities like today's children, and could only find fun on their own. In summer, they would play cards, chess or shuttlecock under the shade of trees. In winter, they would make snowmen and have snowball fights. Although these activities were simple, they also made them find fun and spent long afternoons one after another. As for cleanliness, people in that era did not seem to be too particular. After all, there were not many bathing facilities in the large yard, and family conditions did not allow for daily bathing. When children got their clothes dirty while playing, parents would not care too much as long as it was not too serious. When clothes are dirty, pat them and continue to wear them. When hands and faces are black, wash them and continue to play. The simple lifestyle has taught people to adapt to the environment and exercise their endurance. At that time, the relationship between neighbors was closer than it is now. Everyone lived close and often visited each other to chat. If there was something in the yard, everyone would help enthusiastically. Although material life is not as rich as it is now, the emotional exchanges between people are more frequent and more sincere. Looking back on that era, although there was no convenience and comfort like today, that simple and unpretentious lifestyle made people feel warm. The years on the dirt road carry the best memories of many people's childhood and witness the changes of an era. The lack of attention to costumes and props is a common problem in many period dramas today. In order to save costs or rush time, many crews often do not pay enough attention to the details of costumes, makeup and props. They just roughly match and are done. They look like but not like inside. Although it seems to restore the style of that era on the surface, a closer look will always reveal many flaws. This rough production particularly affects the audience's attention and seriously weakens the authenticity and sense of substitution of period dramas. For example, the clothes of some characters in the drama look too new and clean, lacking the wear and tear and old feeling unique to that era. Some dramas also seem to be casual in the selection of props, using modern furniture, decorations, and even modern electronic products. These details make the audience feel uncomfortable. In addition, there are also problems with makeup. The makeup of some actors is too delicate, which is incompatible with the simple style of that era and lacks a sense of reality. The existence of these problems not only affects the audience's viewing experience, but also weakens the artistic value and historical significance of the work. The script of the era should be a true and detailed restoration to let the audience feel the atmosphere and lifestyle of that particular historical period. However, the carelessness of many crews in this regard has prevented the work from achieving the expected effect. To solve this problem, the crew needs to invest more time and energy in the production process and pay attention to the details of costumes, makeup and props. Costumes need to be carefully designed and processed, makeup needs to be close to the characters and the times, and props must be selected and arranged strictly according to the historical background. Only in this way can the period drama really let the audience travel back to that era and experience the real historical atmosphere. The audience can really immerse themselves in it and feel the emotions and stories of the characters in the play, thereby enhancing the overall quality and influence of the work. One of the important reasons why the world can be liked by the audience is that the costumes and props are particularly attentive. Most of the costumes in the play have been treated to be old, such as clothes washed to white, sweaters peeling, etc. These details make the image of the characters more real and credible. When watching, the audience can feel the atmosphere of life and the simplicity of the characters in that era, and then better integrate into the plot and resonate. However, unfortunately, the world is a boutique, and it is really hard to come across such a good drama. In recent years, although there are many period dramas, there are only a handful of works that can really achieve such meticulousness in costumes and props. Many period dramas are too rough in costumes, makeup and props, lacking careful attention to detail, which greatly reduces the overall effect and makes it difficult to meet the expectations of the audience. The audience's expectations for period dramas are not only the moving plots, but also the ability to return to that specific historical period and experience the real life through the delicate costume and props design. Therefore, works like The World that strive for excellence in every detail are so popular. I really hope that there will be another period drama that can fully satisfy the audience. I hope that the future production team can learn from the successful experience of The World, work harder on costumes and props, and strive to restore the true face of history. Only in this way can the audience truly immerse themselves in the story, feel the customs of that era and the emotions of the characters, thereby enhancing the artistic value of the work and the satisfaction of the audience. I look forward to the emergence of more well-made period dramas to bring us more touching memories.
Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to our support channel.